Hello, dear viewer, and welcome to another episode of the Catholic League Forum. I'm Mike McDonald, Director of Communications at the Catholic League, and joining me today is President and CEO of the Catholic League, Bill Donohue. Bill, we had a very busy week this week, jam-packed full of stuff. You took a look at some stuff involving LeBron's Twitter storm he created, some stuff today about stupid white people, and the higher educated they get, the dumber they are. But this week, a couple of big things really stand out, and I do want to start with perhaps one of the bigger items we had is you sent a letter this week to the House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan asking for action on Jane's Revenge. This has been something we've been tracking for a while because Jane's Revenge has been probably the leading of these domestic terrorist groups attacking Catholic churches, pro-life clinics, pro-life advocates in general. So what's going on with this?
Well, we're hoping that Representative Jordan will do a better job and be more responsive than Merrick Garland, the Attorney General. We wrote to him last spring asking him to investigate these attacks on the crisis pregnancy centers, pro-life activists, churches being burned, being vandalized.
Right.
Jane's Revenge is one of the most notorious ones. They're very much like Antifa. All right, they're surreptitious. They often wear masks. They're not well organized, yet they communicate through social media. They are anarchists, all right? They're very much like Antifa to that extent. So we were concerned about anybody, but Jane's Revenge in particular. They called for a night of revenge and to burn everything down, the night of rage, as they called it, when Roe v. Wade was overturned. So we're dealing with urban terrorists, domestic terrorists, and they have to be crushed. They have to be stopped in their track. And we haven't seen much in the way. I think, two people?
Right, two people who were recently arrested, but out of everything they've done.
But you guys have done a great report here for the Catholic League, and we're listing dozens of cases. So you got two people who have been picked up, and then you get all these others. We're hoping that Jim Jordan will do a better job. We believe he will because he's indicated that he is interested in this issue. And we wouldn't care whether it's against a mosque or a synagogue or a Protestant church. It doesn't make any difference. But obviously, as the Catholic League, our primary interest would be with our own religion. And that's why we brought those instances to his attention.
Yes, that's definitely worth checking out. As Bill mentioned, we do have a pretty good fact sheet up on our website, catholicleague.org. And do check out Bill's letter. We'll have a link in the description below. Now, Bill, just shifting gears a little bit, but not actually getting too far. This week, Biden revealed how little he knows about the Catholic Church's position on...
Either that or he's lying, right? I mean, it's one or the other.
Right. It's either that or he's getting on to Marine One. You can hear, or coming back from Marine One, you can hear the helicopter in the background. Reporters are doing questions because he rarely takes actual questions.
No, he won't have a press conference.
No. And so what happened here?
Well, I mean, he's walking there in the White House lawn, and somebody yells at him. They're always yelling questions at him. And one of the questions was, how do you feel about the publicly funded abortions? The bishops are opposed to it and the like. And he got angry. I mean, there's a meanness in this man. And he points his finger and he said, that's not true of all the bishops and it's not true of the Pope. What? Is there a single bishop? I'd like to find out who he is. Maybe Biden would tell. Could he find even one bishop? And some of the bishops are pretty liberal. But could he find one who believes that publicly funded abortions is okay? He couldn't find any. In fact, the same day he made that incredible comment, Bishop Michael Burbridge from Virginia, Arlington, he's the head of the pro-life committee, sent a letter to the Congress saying, wait a minute, we can't do this. This is wrong. This is totally immoral. And as far as the Pope is concerned, the Pope, he may be liberal in some things. When it comes to these moral issues, he's not at all. He's very orthodox. And he's called abortion murder. Those are his words. He said that it's like, we don't solve a problem by hiring a hitman.
Right.
So the Pope could not be more clear on this issue. Look, even atheists know that the Catholic Church is opposed to abortion. And if you're opposed to abortion, then obviously you're opposed to publicly funding it. So is Biden that ignorant of a man about his own religion? He calls himself a devout Catholic, that he doesn't know, or is he simply lying through his teeth? I'll let the viewer decide that.
Perfect. And on a final note, our dear viewers probably heard us talk a lot about the documentary we dropped, the Walt's Disenchanted Kingdom, which is available on CatholicLeague.org. We'll have a link in the description below, but you can watch it there. It's available on several other platforms as well. And it's gotten great response, Bill. A lot of people watching. You've been doing media constantly.
And you've been doing media. Yeah, the response has been unbelievable. We get tens of thousands of people watching. According to some metrics, we can't know for certain how many because it's you can watch it on Amazon. You can watch it on Salem. So different people are picking it up. Our website, we had it up on YouTube, but then all of a sudden we came into work one morning, and guess what happened?
Yeah, so it must have been all of the media we've been doing on this, and all of you for watching this, getting the word out that YouTube decided Tuesday at, 2:17 in the middle of the night, that it was no longer safe for children to watch.
Anybody under 18?
Yep, under 18, and
right.
This is a really big problem because
you can get an abortion,
right?
But you can't watch a movie.
Well, right. And
this is the world we live in.
Right, and YouTube, the fact checkers at home, if you just mention the word abortion, they get bent out of shape.
Right.
You talk anything about transgenderism on the negative side, our side, they get bent out of shape, and so this is just another example of YouTube censoring, and it is a big deal because this actually does slow down the distribution of the film, making it harder for more people to see it, and so we're very upset about that. But you were right about this when we started this, so we needed to have a backup plan, and so that's why we started the Rumble account at the beginning of the year. So, dear viewer, if you're watching us on YouTube, you can check out our Rumble page as well, or vice versa, however you're watching. But it's there on Rumble, free to watch, no problem. And again, you can watch it on CatholicLeague.org.
You know what's really perverse about this? I mean, we made this documentary because we're concerned about the sexual exploitation of children. And now, since we're trying to protect children, we now have YouTube trying to say, well, let's see now, children shouldn't be able to watch your documentary. It's about protecting them. And 18, I mean, that's pretty high up there. So I don't know. Hello, YouTube. We're on YouTube right now. You're going to try to censor this as well? We always find a way to subvert you, by the way. Well, we will. We're engaged in subversion of those people who want to deny us our freedom of speech. And I would say that for all Americans, including those who are adversaries. If you're exercising freedom of speech properly understood within the parameters that are always accepted by the courts, there's always a few examples of dealing with libel and things of that nature. We all understand that. If you are having your rights being abridged by the government, that's serious business. Today, it's almost always those people who hold to traditional moral values, more conservative beliefs, who are subjected to these kinds of sanctions. It's not those on the left who are pushing the agenda. Antifa doesn't seem to get censored, or Jane's Revenge.
Right.
It's more likely the Catholic League.
Yeah.
But you won't win.
No, and I think that's an important point to bring up, Bill, because there is nothing objectionable in the documentary. It's there's no profanity, there's no gratuitous violence.
They have a list of 5 or 6 different standards, right?
Right, and we did reach out to them asking, if please reverse this. This is you have a clear-cut caveat in your community guidelines on if it's educational or documentary, you don't necessarily have to play by the guidelines. But that aside, we didn't violate any of the guidelines. We asked
nothing vulgar. There's no violence. All the standards they have, which are actually pretty reasonable. But then they have a catch-all one, don't they? Even if some things may not necessarily violate our standards, we may still find it. You don't even need standards then. Just simply say it's our political viewpoint that matters most, and just be honest about it. I don't like people lying. Just tell the truth.
Yeah. So, dear viewer, if you haven't watched the movie already, you can watch it on YouTube, Rumble, CatholicLeague.org, all those places that Bill mentioned. And if you already have watched it, give it another give it another watch, just so this way we can send a message to YouTube that we're still in this. We're still getting the message out there. But Bill, I think that's a lot. Again, you had a couple of other pieces. Do check them out on our website, CatholicLeague.org. We'll have a link in the description below. And as always, if you can give this video a like or a subscribe, that will greatly help us get the message out there. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Bill.
Thanks.